Hey guys, I know it's been a while since my last upload and all, but I figured, hey, it's about time to make an upload on what I'm doing and get some of you guys to hop on the server besides just, people who comment by stream like, hey, what are you playing? So lately I've been playing on the server called Skyblock Isles. If you guys don't know him, it's made by Bayesian Canadian. I pretty much grew up watching him and definitely I assume some other people have around my age or at least know who he is. And if you're wondering what kind of server it is, it's kind of like RuneScape. It's kind of the best example that I can give it. There's a bunch of skills you can do. There's a bunch of plenty of different types of enemies you can kill, like a lot of variety. And each of these enemies or things you kill each have their own kind of, unique-ish drops for the most part. Some of them don't, but like you can pick like a random mob. I unfortunately don't have a lot of them unlocked. But let's just say you go under like the humanoid ones. Let's pick this random one, Hungry Pirate. They drop a bandana, like this shaman, he drops his own staff kind of thing. Like there's a bunch of different enemies you can go to, and you can kind of like build your own at this point, which I think is pretty cool. Now, for the people who know, I played a lot of Hypixel Skyblock and all, and to me, this server really has the like grinding identity. Like as you see, look, this Gorilla Greater Brute, which is something I'm working on for a bit. There's a bunch of drops. You see all these like blocked out things. The paid feature, I'll get into that maybe a bit later. It has all these like interesting items you can go for, and I find it very similar to like Ender Eye grinding or maybe even like Slayer grinding. My main issue with Slayer was there wasn't, you kill something like every minute or so, right? But for the most part, unless you're fighting like a higher end enemy, you can kill them pretty frequently, right? Like this one is definitely one of these Gorilla Greater Brutes are the stronger enemies, and you just kill a bunch of them, right? And it's not just, oh, I just killed this one enemy. Like there's a bunch of things you gotta farm for in this game, right? Like you gotta farm these mods, these specific tools, and it's not even just that, right? It's not just you play melee, right? Like you do in most kind of like any kind of MMOE servers. You can play ranged, you can play mage. You have options, right? And if you don't want to do combat at all, there's a bunch of skills. And you might be like, but why would I waste my time skilling? Well, there's a few reasons for that. Like why you want to do it. Like fishing, you can do fishing and get yourself food, which is really important in combat, which is another thing I really like about the server, is it enables you to, you can go in, let's say you do like fishing, because fishing is really good. You can make this really, really good food. And it pretty much enables you to fight stronger enemies, right? So you can see my health is sitting around like 810, and having a food that heals almost 1/4 of my health is pretty big, especially for fighting a very powerful enemy. So as they release stronger and stronger, bosses or enemies, you're gonna have a solid chance of being able to take them on as long as you're properly equipped. It's not just you go into the fight with nothing and pray you come out on top kind of thing, which I really like this feature. And you can also bring like essentially stacks of food. It's not just 1-to-1. Besides when you're cooking it, of course. I can go give like a good example of that. But essentially, in this game, the skills, I really like the skill system. Now, again, this game draws a lot of inspiration from RuneScape. I think, well, you can probably tell from like the skill system, similar names, they're even the Slayer skill, right? But skills kind of tie into each other, right? Like mining ties into smithing, wood cutting ties into artisan. Agility is kind of its own beast, but allows you to do shortcuts, which are very important for various skills like fishing, getting kills on certain enemies because they're in like a state or like shortcut to get there. Enables more spawns, stuff like that. Alchemy, so you can get magic runes, right? Magic, so you can teleport around. There's also like various magic spells you can cast too, like regeneration and like item grabbing. It's pretty similar to RuneScape for the most part. Like that's like pretty much all I can keep saying is it's pretty similar to RuneScape. But something about this game just gets me to want to play it. Definitely my main reason for that too is a bunch of people I know play, like Max plays, Charles Swayze plays, Guild Cookie plays, Aiken plays, Except played. I don't know. I haven't seen them on lately. Like a bunch of people from who I've knew playing on Hypixel for a long time play, and I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is a sponsored video. He's just." No, I'm not being paid or anything. I've enjoyed my time on this server. Right? I've been playing for probably getting close to a month at this point. The time there's even a playtime, but I think it's wrong. I think it might be like the day you started playing. I'm not sure, but I played a lot. And if you guys know me, I am really big on like the grind. Like I put the hours in on Hypixel back in the day. I know I've mentioned Hypixel a lot, but it's just like, it's kind of like my core identity. And if you guys are grinders, right, really putting like your time in the game and have it feeling rewarded, I think this is definitely a server worth trying out, right? Because like there's just so much to do. And even once you put in like the hundreds of hours, like I think at this point I've definitely put in over 200 hours in like a month. Like that's pretty far, and like you could say I'm not even close to like maxing out, right? My combat stats are slowly getting there, and right now the soft cap is probably about 75. So my combat stats are getting there. My fishing and cooking are kind of like my main one because those tie into combat really well. But my other skills aren't even close. It's gonna take me like probably like a few more months to even get like them even close to being maxed. And they do have content updates planned out, which is very nice. We're still, since I've been playing, they have not really released any content, but I do look forward to what's coming out. They do talk about it sometimes, and I know just been walking around this hub area just talking about it. Not really a good example, so maybe I'll just go off and like show another town. Gives a better idea. But there's also like a little map here, and maybe I'll see if I can dig it up. But I'll include like a 3D map, or someone made a map for the whole world, which is a decently sized world. As you can see, here's like a map of just like the starting zone, which already is decently sized. And there's essentially like 6 chunks, kind of. I would say 6. Yeah, it's like 6 similar sized chunks like this, like right now around the map. And I think there's 5 towns, so quite a few places you can go to, right? Go on to teleport spells, and you can only teleport to a few places, mainly Wharf Mall and Skyroar. I feel like eventually they'll add in, like you can teleport around to all the places. Right, so here's another place, pretty much like the second town you're coming to is Skyroar, which is definitely, I spent a lot of my early hours here grinding, right? There's these enemies called the Vikings, and, well, they're not around right now because people are killing them because they're really good to grind. But, I spent a lot of my early game hours here, I'd say some good memories because I got pretty lucky. This is kind of like where you finally, like, okay, I played the game, I'm getting along, I'm getting gear, and you start feeling like, oh wow, I'm having a decent time. And yeah, I know it's a grind, but it's weird for me to say. But if you guys are watching, maybe like I definitely give the server a shot. I think my only bad thing to say, well, I do have like you guys know me, I'm toxic, I have my opinions on the server and the sort, but the only not so good thing is the small player base. Now, player base has been dwindling, it's just be like that. It's during the week, it's late at night, stuff like that. But I would like to see the player base grow for this game because I think it definitely deserves more players. It's not super pay to win in any sense, unless like people just trade VIP pretty much, which is pretty much it for kind of like money to game transactions, which isn't too bad. Because for the most part, it's pretty hard to like people don't sit there and be like, all right, give me coins for like this item, which is like a pretty rare item to get, right? Like it's that kind of thing. It's pretty hard to get some of the super items in the game with money. You kind of gotta get them yourself or have a really good deal. So you can't really like pay to win or anything. I guess it's more like standard MMOs where you can pay to progress, but again, that's up to people if they want to do that. It's not really like people paying are not really like giving themselves an advantage because you can catch up pretty quick with some reasonable time put in the game. Also, one last thing I want to cover too, which is I should have mentioned this sooner, is this adventure feature, which is definitely pretty cool. It is kind of tedious, but pretty much it's a feature where it helps teach you the game. And why it helps teach you the game is that it tells you about doing these various, tasks, right? It pretty much helps teach you the game pretty much. Because doing these early on definitely gives you an idea of what goes on in the game. I remember doing them in Wharf, I haven't done too many since then, but besides just being good for that, they also unlock various perks, right? Like a bank deposit box and some very nice areas, which are very convenient. The one downside is you need like considerable skills to do it. Like for Tortuga, which is against pretty much like the final or I guess hardest town. I guess tied with Pyre, I guess, which I didn't even go to either of those places. But you know, you need like pretty high skill average to get up there in these tasks. That's something to keep in mind. And I know I've been rambling for like 10 minutes at this point, but I think you guys should definitely give the server a shot. I mean, I like it. You know, people from the Discord server play it. You know, they finally decided to give it a try, and they're all hooked on it. And if I've been playing it this much, it must be pretty decent, right? I mean, definitely give it a shot. You know, maybe let me know in the description, or you know, come join the Discord. You know, we do have an Isles section. I think I gotta make it so people get the Isles role, but you know, definitely come there. Maybe people help with questions. I don't know, but yeah, you leave me a comment if you played, how you feel about Isles, stuff like that, and I will catch you guys maybe next time, or you know, definitely come by the Isles stream or streams. I've been streaming almost every day, you know, so if you swing by, ask any questions, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.